Hi, this is Andy Summers and you are logged on to guitar.com. I mean, to me what absolutely distinguishes, the men from the boys is time. How well do you play, in time, where you place phrases. It's the rhythmic feeling, because you find a lot of people, they put on light strings and suddenly they can get these simple patterns, pentatonic patterns, and start playing really quite fast and everything. And then you hear him play with the band and it sounds like garbage because the time is just not really being felt. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what tips to give to be, except I think you have to develop a certain other kind of perception about music and time, and try and get that into your playing. And this develops over the years. I mean, if you listen to some of the great jazz players and where their time is and where they hear the form and how they can play in front of the beat, behind the beat, and place phrases, that's the whole thing. That's really what makes great players, I think. Not speed. It's a sense of of music. You've got to try and get away from that stuff, and if you want to really develop and get into other areas of perception where it becomes more subtle, I don't know, play with your thumb.
Can you give us an example of playing
I mean,
that slides on the
I mean, a rock thing would be like, but a jazz folk. Listen to somebody like John Scofield. You want to hear someone play with, really great time and sense of phrasing and feel. Or Wes Montgomery. It's you could get that more in a jazz player where the time is. Rock is much more eighth note. It's much more. It's less fluid. It's a different kind of approach, but it's sort of less sexy to me because it's a lot of triplet feels and right on the beat. I like hearing phrasing played behind the beat. Make it breathe more, make it sing more, leave spaces, leave a lot more space. Listen to Miles Davis. I mean, that's as good as it gets. For a sense of unique phrasing, space, leaving, making silences really tell. It's a real, very important thing to use. A lot of players just play and play and play, and they never leave any spaces. But that's like talking all the time and never. When you play a solo, you're telling a story and it's a narrative, and like as somebody once said, you say hello, my name is, and then you start. Well, this is what I do, and you start in a solo should really have a curve and go somewhere. You should try and take people somewhere. So you start off quite. You don't come in blazing always. It's hi. So it starts to bring the people with you, especially if somebody's just been playing right in front of you and it's been very fierce or attention getting, But it depends on the genre of music you're playing. I'm probably talking more about playing jazz. Rock, it might be that a singer sings, 2 verses and a chorus, and then you want a really intense solo. Or you could play it off. You could play a one-note solo or just do some feedback against, It's always like a counterpoint against what's gone before or what else is going on. You want to find your own space with it. Most guitar players really need. I play with a lot of guitar players. Even when I'm not on the road, I play with other guitar players. And the thing that I find that distinguishes one from the other, or the better ones from the less good ones is the ability to feel time and play rhythm. A lot of guitar players don't play rhythm very well, and it's a real important thing to be able to get so that your time, your tempo is real solid, because it actually will help you be a better soloist. If that's what you want to be, you really got this bedrock of where the time is, where the drummer is, where the one is. You always know where it is. Then you can play off of it. You've got to abstract from something. If you're not feeling that, it's like trying to create a painting. If you've got an idea of what you're coming off. It's like when Picasso was making, cubism. I mean, he was taking it from something. He didn't create it in a void. It's not done in a vacuum. You know what's there, and then you abstract away from it. You can always come back to it. But so it's really good to get a real, really internalized rhythm time.
How do you practice soloing, or is it on your own, or is it tough to practice soloing without the?
Well, with a metronome, I play with a metronome a lot, and I'll have internalized the chord progression. I sometimes may well sit and watch it, look at it in front of me, but I'll just keep playing through it and like that, So I've done all kinds of things in the past, like making tapes with like guitar backings, or with drum machines. I like to play against the guitar. Actually, I once made a tape with about 30 or 40 different chord progressions, and I just used to practice through it. Play through it, run it back, play the kick sequence over many times, nicely in time, maybe with a metronome, and then just improvise against it, so that you're free and you can really feel like you're playing with a band. It's a good way to practice. I mean, I'm sure there are all kinds of practice things like that out there now. I like making my own though. I feel better with it, a lot of them are too stiff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's your chords.
I like to feel it where I feel it and then play against it. But if you want to really be a great player, the best way to learn is on stage in front of an audience. It's like when you're a band, you can practice and practice and practice. You do one gig and immediately where the faults are. One gig in front of an audience absolutely puts it under the microscope. And in one show, you'll know what's wrong, and you can immediately put it right. Sometimes in rehearsal, you don't always learn that. You get the piece down, and then it's a point of no return. You've got to get in front of an audience. The way you really become a great player is by doing thousands of gigs, as well as everything else. Playing in front of people, it's a much more intense experience. If you sit in the bedroom all your life playing, you only get to a point. Anyway, I think music is definitely an exchange, with people. I thought you play an instrument to play it to people, to have that interchange, because that's where it becomes meaningful.